Welcome everyone to the Beehive Centre and the start of our Introduction to Computing course. I think you're all familiar with the Beehive Centre, you've all been here before? Yeah, okay. So, but just to go through the formalities, so this is the room that we'll be working in. We've got computers all set up there and we'll be working on those most of the time.
In terms of the library here, in terms of fire exits, you've got the main, the green sign over there to go out of the building at that side. Through this door at the back here, if you go through there and to the right, there's a fire exit there. So there is one there. And there's also a little loo going through that door there. There's a loo there. And at about midday, at half time, we'll do some, I've got some coffee or tea or water or whatever. Okay. So I suppose just brief introductions. It's quite nice just to, you know, because I feel with these courses, it's lovely for people to, you know, briefly get to know each other, and you might find that during the course that the things you might know and have had experience of that the other person next to you hasn't. So we very much encourage a sort of helping each other sometimes, and it's lovely because you can identify with things quite often.
Yeah. Well, please just ask any questions that you do have. So we're not experts, but we are here to support you.
I just want to get started and just try and, you know.
A lot of this course is about building up confidence.
Yeah, it's all about confidence.
And I must say that we have had people that have walked in the door on a Wednesday afternoon and said, "Oh, is this really for basics? No, really, really basic. Is it really?"
Yeah.
And they walk out 2 hours later with a big smile on their face.
Because they probably think that everybody knows more than they, and they feel a bit weird.
That's very common feeling, yes,
Yeah.
definitely, yes.
And a lot of it is the confidence thing. A lot of people know a lot more than they realise. And well, no, that's fine. And that's also, that doesn't matter because I've taught people who've never touched a computer before. Yeah, and it's all down to our own life experience. And what I always say to people is you know far more, you know, in terms of life and other things. These computers are just bits of electronics at the end of the day. They're tools, you know, hopefully to make our life a lot richer and a lot better, you know, and it's the way the world's going. And actually a lot more fun, you know, because they're televisions, they're music boxes, they're telephones, they're all this sort of stuff. There's so much more you can do than you used to in the past. And so big thing is to put people at ease. That's what I want you to do, is to feel relaxed with this and to enjoy it, you know, enough. And then lastly, about 4 years ago, my father, he needed to get online, you know, like everyone else. You know, there's a group he was part of in Poole and Dorset, and they said, well, you've got to use email. And you know, he reluctantly did it. So I sat beside him and tried to teach him, which is a challenge, because when it's a relative, I think it's often much harder.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you need to take a break, rest your hands or whatever, you know, just feel free. If you need to get up out of the chair and walk about, just do that. Just be comfortable and don't make yourself at home.
Briefly, would you mind sort of briefly introducing yourself and why you came on the course? I think you sort of half answered that really.
Right, I'm Jem Cox and I know nothing about it. I watch my kids, my grandchildren, my son-in-law, he does IT and everything for colleges and university, but it's like you said, trying to teach family. No. And they said, no, we're not going to try and teach your mother. We know what you're like, your temper and everything. Go to somebody professional. Okay, fair enough. So, but I mean, everybody gets online and do shopping and they look at things that are happening. And I went to a friend's house and they were looking at stars and things, you know. It was amazing.
Christine, what do you
I'm Chris Prittis. I keep getting told off by everybody because I'm not online.
Yeah.
And
family.
The thing is, I feel it's going the wrong way in some respects because everything's gone online, and there are people in this country, millions of people who don't have access.
Absolutely.
And I do feel that is wrong. They're pushing it too much. But on the other hand, I've got very close friends who live in Spain and in Menorca, and they said, we could get you on Skype because I'm on my own and lost my dad last year, and they keep saying, we could get you on Skype and we could talk to you. And I said, no, I don't want to go that way, but I do want to do my family history. And I do come down here sometimes and have used their things. I work for the National Trust, so everything they send through is online.
Yeah,
and
everything's online
they
nowadays,
go on
isn't
at me because they say, because I do a lot of work there, and they say, well, we have emailed everybody else and we've got to phone you. And I says, well, tough, it's too bad, isn't it? So now I thought, I better have a go.
Yeah.
So I get with it. And also, travelling, flights are so much cheaper You know, it's think, and I do
Absolutely.
an awful lot of
Do
travelling.
you?
I'm off
Yeah,
to
good.
Belgium tomorrow for 3 days.
Adaptation is that you don't need any previous experience, but it's good just to understand where you're coming from. Maybe we could just go around the group, so I get to learn the names because I'm really bad with names. And you can just tell me what level of experience you've got. So this is Michael, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you used a computer before?
Yes, I've got a laptop myself.
Oh, right, okay. You're semi-professional then, by the sound of it.
Well, I don't know about that. There's lots of things I don't know.
Okay,
But,
yeah.
Have any of you attended courses before?
No.
Have you done anything?
No,
Not at all?
I don't want to call it
Oh.
Samwell, but
Yes.
there again, there was over 40 in the class.
Oh,
40?
Mm.
Goodness me.
For
And
one
I-
tutor?
Yeah.
Personally, I think you need one at home to practice on, because what you're telling us now, within 10 minutes, old man, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's,
For anyone that doesn't have access to a laptop or a computer at home, the library, if you've got a library card, you can book sessions on the library computers for free.
There's 5 sessions to this course. We've got 3 sections of notes. But basically we work to a degree with these booklets. So yes, as I sort of said, you know, if you can bring them each week, it is useful because we will refer to them. But as you'll see, I'll just flick through them. There's some nice illustrations and quite a few notes here for you to refer back to. So we will try to work our way through these as the weeks go through. Page, it's 45 of the 3rd section. See there? The 3rd section is lovely. Page 45. We won't refer to this again, but there is a number of 2 or 3 pages that are what we call jargon busters. I expect you've come across these sort of words that you, in computer language that people refer to, and we don't really know always what they mean. But they sort of become part of our everyday vocabulary because, but people assume that you know what they are. But
It'll mean more when we're sitting in front of it, this terminology. I think like anything, you know, if anyone's interested, for instance, in gardening, which I don't know a lot about, it is actually quite technical. If you go out there and talk about, you know, the different plants and the Latin naming and how things grow and everything else, you do have to learn a language, don't you? Like anything, cooking the same way. So the same with computers. There's no getting away from it. Unfortunately, we do have to bring up these terms, which, you know, forgive me if I do, and just stop me and say, well, what do you mean? You know, so don't hesitate. And in a moment, we'll do a sort of little fun sort of quiz, sort of general terms that are used in the world of computers and IT, which you might be surprised a lot of them you know about.
And then there's some useful support materials. And then you get to the colour-coded pack. So you've got 3 sections put together. The first one looks like that, the beginner's guide. And the second one's blue, using the internet, and the third one's yellow, using the internet. So that basically covers the course, and we'll be working through that at a steady pace, but at your own speed over the next 5 weeks. Yeah, basically what we'll be covering, as it says on this handbook summary, is very basic. So where we start, let's turn it on to start with, and we'll be getting on to it with that. Then we'll be looking at using the mouse and the keyboard. So as you said, if you've got no experience, then we'll start right at the beginning, just get familiar with that. How the mouse works, how to hold it comfortably, and the keyboard, where the keys are, what the different keys do. Then we'll start getting onto the internet, the online world, the World Wide Web, using a browser, using a search engine, and generally exploring the internet. And then we'll get into the advanced stages about using email, and there's some little sort of dummy games that we can play along the way to help bring some of these things to life, both the mouse and the keyboard and email.
I mean, the idea is get it together, beginner's computer course. So it is literally designed for people who've never touched a computer before. So to teach you the use of the mouse, that's good. So the course really is, it's getting confident, turning the computer on and off. These computers are slightly different because when we come in here, we have to make sure they're logged in. That's why I was doing that earlier. But I'll show you where the on-off switch is. And also with a laptop, it's very useful, Eric, because we can show you how that works.
That's good,
You know,
because I've got that
yeah,
I didn't think to bring it in.
Yeah, so that would
Yeah,
be good.
yeah.
Yeah, you could bring it in. Bring it in next time. It'd be good to show you. Has anyone ever typed in the past? Have you ever learned to type? So you've done some. Do you just to sort of jot something down? We've got this thing sort of like thinks and wants, which is pretty well what we've been covering. But it's quite nice to have a little record at the sort of beginning of the course. I think it's really useful to sort of see what you really want to get out of it.
Well, I'm fed up with cooking, and since I've had my operation, I can't eat anymore very much, and everything on the telly is food, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, it is.
there's
The
a lot
British
of it,
Bake
yeah.
Off and everything.
God, I'm sick to death
But it's
with
quite
it
nice just to
now.
have a little sort of jog, you know, just to write down at the
Yeah.
beginning. Just some of the things you've been saying, really, just to sort of jot it down. It's quite good for me as a reminder as well as we go
Yeah.
through the course.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice when we get onto
Yeah.
the internet,
Exactly.
when we have a go at searching
Looking
for
for
things.
things.
You can remind yourself what you want to find out
Exactly.
about. Yeah, family history is a really good
That
one.
is a really good one. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be anything specifically
No.
that you think about with computers.
Yeah.
It could just be what you like doing, like walking or playing bowls or
Exactly.
anything
Any
like that.
hobbies, any interests, or whatever. Photography, for instance, good.
Yeah, David can have a think about
I
what
can have a think about
websites would be
things,
good for
absolutely.
you. And
Yeah.
like the family history, I don't know if you know, but all the libraries have got
Thank you.
free
Yes.
access
Yeah,
to
but I've
Ancestry.
come down with a friend,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
we've
thank you.
done a bit,
Oh.
but I'm
So using computer, the basics there, using the internet, which we've talked about, and the great use of that, which is amazing, isn't it? You just get on there, there's sort of over 50 billion pages and just growing. It's just an amazing resource. Just Encyclopedia Britannica, there at your fingertips. It's just incredible. And talking about staying safe online, that's important. And just going to the right places. And then email. So no one's used email.